next year, no videos. All right. We got this figured out. So I just wanted to review that. You're gonna oh, percentage. Oh yeah, I'm gonna check which one adds up to 100. Oh yeah, one does. They won't always. You will see, but one does. So we divide by 100. Boom. We get our average. But we also did the non-weighted average, and we determined, right? Why is this the case, right? It's because on the weighted mean scenario, Janice scored the highest on the heaviest items. Okay, so there we go. Let's keep going. Let's do the next question here. Okay, the following table shows the results of number of electronic devices households own. It's a little dated, but it's still, the process is still the same. So if you look at one device in that household, 2% of people. Right? 2 devices, we have 7% of people, and so forth. Calculate the mean number of devices per household. It's a little different, right? You don't have the title on the sides, but you do have 2 categories, right? Let's check if percentage, right? Oh, percentage. I'm going to check if it adds up to 100. You can use your calculator. I'm just going to highlight the fact that it's percentage. Right? I'm going to make a big note at the top. Okay, percentages. Check if sum is 100. And check if sum is 100. So if you add these up, let's do some mental math here. 9, 19. It is 100, right? You checked already? Okay. So I'll just cut to the chase. It's 100, according to my sources. All right. Reliable sources. So it does check out. So in this case, without much further thinking or anything, you're just going to apply the 3 steps, which are, I need to check my highlighting, okay? Orange first. So I'm going to multiply them like that. In this case, it's a horizontal table. Sometimes it's a vertical table. The steps still apply. Question, do I need to turn my percentage into a decimal? The answer is, it depends. If you want to keep it as a percentage, that's fine. If you turn it to a decimal, you'll have to just turn it back into a percentage later. So I will just leave it, okay? I will not convert. So here it is. I go weighted mean like that. I go 1 times 2 plus 2 times 7, and you know the drill here. I just multiply them all. Mr. Irvin, can I just write down the answers here and then just add it up? Sure, I'll be fine with that. But because these are your notes, I want to make sure. I probably will be doing that later on to speed things up. Okay, so this would be multiplying and adding. So this is basically 2 steps right there. 2 steps right there. And then I go divided by 100. What was adding? Was it green? Yep. I'm just gonna. The sum is green, and the last thing was pink, right? Yeah. I think so. Aren't you glad it's Friday? Anyways, that's what I mean. I need new jokes. Okay, so I think we can do some mental math here. 5 times 20 is 100, so that's 105, 102, 112, 112. then you divide the whole thing by 100. So sometimes space is going to be an issue. So you can go to the side if you're running out of space, right? So I will go, I already did this, so I'm just going to cut to the chase. Adding all of this up gives you 559 divided by 100. And that would be 5.59 devices per household. And here I want to pause once, because why did you say devices? Why don't you say percentage? Why is that, Mr. Dirksen? This is why. Write this down, and then you got to pay attention for this, because it's going to be handy for what we're doing next. What were you multiplying the whole time? You were multiplying devices, right? Times what? Times percentages, right? We were doing that the whole time. Devices times percentage, devices. What did we end up dividing the whole thing by? 100, but it's actually 100%. So we divided by percent, correct? I don't know if you ever did this in any of your math courses, but you can cancel units. Did you know that? Right? So these two cancel. What are you left with? Devices. And so that's why you can say it's 5.59 devices per household. This is like a unit analysis. What? Why do you throw in those words, Mr. Dirksen, on a Friday, right? Unit analysis. That's why you can say devices win. Well, yeah, they do. They kind of take over, don't they? And that's that. Looking at my time here, I'm gonna leave this one for. I'm gonna put homework here on this one, so that you can give that a try. This is a weighted mean without a table, guys. That's all it is. It's a weighted mean question, just like the very first one we did. There's just no table, so you have to be okay with either one. The province says they want tables and word problems. They want a mix, so I do both. Okay. All right. This is it for percentages. What if it's not percentages? So come with me. I also will do 41. I will tell you that that's homework. Is he saying the H word on a Friday? It really doesn't take that long. It really doesn't. Right, so on page 41, this is also one involving percentages. Check to see if it adds up to 100. Chances are pretty high that it's going to be 100. And I will post that as well. Okay. I'm going to wait. We're going to wait for now, and then when we do this, I'll erase the weight. Okay. But we're just going to wait. There's a backwards scenario when it's weighted mean. We're just going to wait on weighted mean backwards. Get it? Okay, let's go to 44. 44. Weighted mean involving repetition. Highlight that. I want you to see this as you flip through it. You have multiple items. Here's the gist of what weighted mean is. Weighted mean can be used in another situation when there's repetition. Okay, when there's repetition. The end result is the same, right? The end result is the same as the arithmetic mean, but the calculations are a lot easier. I would say faster. Let's go faster right next to it. Following values represent the number of shoes sold over an 18-day period. The data has been arranged, as you can tell. Show 2 ways of calculating the average number of shoes sold per day. Okay. We're going to do method number 1. We're going to go x is equal to. I think you will be okay with let's just add up all these numbers. I haven't done that, so you need to help me out here. 369 plus 8 and 8 is 16 and 20 plus 14 18 plus 18 plus 18 plus 9. Check if it's 106. I'm pretty sure it is. And we're told it's 18, right? 2, 4, 6, 10. Oh, wait, 2, 4, 6, 12, 14, 16, 18, yeah. Is it 106? Did anybody check? Or are you just blindly trusting me? I wouldn't do that if I were you. I'm going to double check one more time. I don't have the key for this one in front of me right now. So 369 plus 8 and 8 is 16. 24. Actually, that's 24. I think there's a... Yeah, I just realized that I missed this 1-4 here. It's 110, right? Okay. Thank you. 110 divided by 18. It's 6.11. And we would say shoes in this case. And this is the method that I want you to remember for what we're doing next. Method 2, weighted mean. You essentially want to focus on grouping. There are 3 3s, there are 6 4s, 2 7s, and 7 9s. Okay. So this is how you do the weighted mean. It's still the average. It's still the average, but it's a quicker way of doing it. So it's 3 times 3 plus 6 times 4 plus 2 times 7 plus 7 times 9. Okay. Divided by how many values are we still considering? If you just look, it's still 18. Okay, there's no denying that 18 stays the same, but we've grouped them. And let me see what I do here. I'm going to need too many highlighters to make this work, so I'm just going to leave it like that. But the top is still going to give you 110 divided by 18. You get the exact same answer. Okay, exact same answer. How about we do this? There are 3 3s, 6 4s, 2 7s, 7 9s. That's where these numbers that I have in front come from. Okay, and I'm just building a case here. So the main idea is that when it comes to repetition, both means are going to be the same, but this is faster. This is faster, especially when you have like 50 or 100 values or more, maybe a couple thousand. Okay, like the Jets question on the AC that I didn't get you to do, a couple thousand tickets were sold at the end, right? I think it was like 15 or 16,000. So let's do an example here involving a word problem. Okay, follow me here. I'm just going to do this one, and then I'm going to give you some time to work. Okay. The table to the left shows the average number of hours studied per week. Calculate the average number of hours studied per student. So they really want the mean study time. Okay. So let's go ahead and do our first step. Our first step is what? I'm just going to do that on the side here. Multiply. Multiply, add, divide. Still the same step. However, are there percentages here? No percentages. So we need to do a little bit of extra work towards the end. But let's do the first two steps. We multiply the number of students times the hours. Go ahead and do that. And I like to have WM in front because it's a weighted mean calculation. So you go 120 times 3 plus 280 times 4 plus 90 times 5 plus 30 times 6. You have that. And now this is the tricky part. What do you divide? What are you going to divide? Are you going to divide by the number of hours studied overall? Or are you going to divide by the number of students? And here's how I do that, okay? Listen carefully. Unit analysis. You don't have to write unit analysis on the test, right? But we're going to say what two things have we been multiplying? We've been multiplying the number of students, yeah, times hours, yes. So what would we have to divide this thing to be left with what we want? We want, look back here, calculate the average number of hours. That's what we want. So if we want this to stay, we're going to have to divide by students. You're so smart. It's easier to teach when you have smart students. So I lucked out. All right. Students. We get rid of students. No, I'm just kidding. In this case, we want to divide. So this is what you do. What highlighter should I use here? That's the question. So I'm just going to do this. Because we canceled this one out, I want to figure out what the total number of students is. You know how we used to add up and percentages added up to 100 and then the case was closed. We just divide everything by 100. We can't use that here. Okay. So let's go ahead and add everything up. 520. So this is the students, right? In this survey, we considered 520 students. That's what it is saying here. So we take this number and put this right here. So look at this, it's going to be messy. Look at all that, right? But this told us that we needed to figure out the total number of students, which then tells us to put that here, right? And you can't undo it because you used highlight. So maybe, yeah, white out. That's about it. And so let's grab your calculator. So if you have a decent calculator, you can actually type the top in one shot if you'd like, right? 120 times 3 plus 280 times 4 plus 90 times 5 plus 30 times 6. Not everybody can do this, okay? It depends on your calculator. Mine, that has the 2 lines, works, right? So 2110. If somebody can confirm that. Yeah, okay, thank you. And then, so we divide everything by 520. So that is 4.06. What are we talking about? Hours, right? Hours per student, actually. So each student spends approximately, if you were to spread out, right? If you were to spread it out, about 4 hours per student. Why would you want to use the average? It's basically to compare, right? If you go to a different campus, different university, different school, and you do your data collection, you get your average and you see that it's 5. You're like, okay, there's definitely more hours studied in this school versus the other, right? So we can kind of compare it that way. Okay, that is our answer. Okay. So this still applies, the 3 steps, but you need to spend a little bit of time. What do I divide by? It's the unit analysis, right? So the division part is done here. It's like a food cycle almost, right? And full cycle, and then you're done. Okay. All right, I'm stopping here because I know you've been doing a lot. Let me see. I will tell you what I'm going to be posting, and I'm going to go all the way to 47. Okay. So 45, pages 45 to 47, I will post. And if you want to maybe skip the easier ones and do the ones that are a little bit more work, then you pick and choose which one you want to check for. Okay. All right, that's it. Thank you guys. Try at least one before you go today so that it's fresh, right?